Hello wonderful people of the internet, it's Shadows Girl 1920 here, and we're here with a brand new series. So as I said in my channel update, go check that out if you haven't already. We are going to be doing some build tutorials, and I'm starting with the starter house I built in Tree 7. So it has everything you need. This is slightly tweaked and it doesn't have all my trophy heads or anything that I had on Tree 7 just because that's a hassle. But and I used just furnaces to mark out where the 2 wide smelter was. But it's got everything. It's got 15 double chests, ton of smelting space, enchanting gear, brewing gear, and then the enchanting gear. This will get you up to level 30 enchantments. It's got the 15 bookshelves in here, plenty of space to put your trophies, anvil, more storage, a bed, all the cool stuff. And then it's got the nether portal round the back. So, I mean, it's everything you need at the start of a game of Minecraft, plus a little bit extra. It's enough to get, it's tiny and it looks cute, and it works until you're ready to move on to something bigger. Alrighty guys, so you're going to start off, you're going to want a 9x13 rectangle. Marking out the corners with your dark oak wood or whatever wood you want to be using. I tend to just use whatever's available to me in the area I'm building for my starter house. I tend to like that feel of it kind of blending in with nature, but it's really up to you. You could use spruce or birch or whatever. In the middle of a savanna, use acacia, but we'll be using dark oak and oak today. So mark out the corners of your 9x13 rectangle, and then build a rectangle within the perimeter of that. And then you want to bring out a little bit at the front facing wall like this. And then what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to take each one of these dark oak wood bits up 4 blocks. And then once you've got all that done, you want to frame it off. I always start my builds with the framework. It helps me get a rough idea of what shape I'm going for, and it means that if I'm tweaking now, I won't be tweaking it later when there's a lot more to be taken out. And then just straight across this back wall like so. These pillars are indented. They will be actually framing the ladder to get up. I always find in tiny builds like this you don't really want to include a staircase because it just takes up too much space. So there's the framework for our first story. As you can see, it's really basic. In fact, there is no framework for the second level, it's all roof. So that's the thing. Alright, so the next thing you want to do is put in all of your walls. Leaving a space for the door, obviously. And you're just bringing them right up to the top of this framework. And then just some half slabs across the front door here. And that's your bottom story done structurally. So glass in the windows and a front door. And then we'll move on to the roof. Now, as always, it always looks a bit better when you put the front door on like that, so it's a little bit indented. I always like it like that. It also means that it opens out this way which means that the zombies can't bust it down. So I'll get these windows on. There we go. And onto the roof. So for the roof, we're going to frame it off using cobblestone stairs and cobblestone blocks. And we start off by just going around like this. And you want to bring it one block out from your edge. Stairs, please. And that's the base frame for the roof. Now to bring it up, we're kind of going for a slightly more curved look. So, but without the outwards lean that some people do. I do like it. It just doesn't really work on a house this small. So we're just going to leave them going straight up. So what you want to do, so I'll do that first, but so you have your framing and then you have a stair, then a block, then a stair, and then a backward stair off that, block, stair, stair. Then you want to replace these stairs so that they're facing out like this as well. You just want to go like this and like this, and that's the peak for the roof on the entranceway. Then you want to come down here and you want to do the same thing on these corners, so you've got that little bit of a downward droop, and then you're wanting to do sideways upside down stair, block, stair, block, block, stair, and then you want to go 1, 2, 3, making sure all your stairs are facing this way, just like so. It's not quite in line with the other house, so it's looking a bit odd right now. It's like offset by one block. But then we do the other side, and then we'll mirror it on the other end. Alrighty guys, so now what we want to do is we want to get the first layer of the roof in. So we do that just by going around the bottom with the dark oak stairs. And then we come in here and we just build up 2 like so. Because as I said before, this is the walls for the second level. And this gets closed off because a one wide area just really isn't all that useful. If you don't want to close it off, you don't have to, but I do. Alright, then we're going to top that all with stairs. And then we're going to take this bit, place in a stair block, a half slab, and 2 full blocks, just like so. And that gives this first illusion of curving just lightly on that first level. Then coming across this side. Obviously you guys might want to build this one side at a time if you're in survival mode. I know that it can be a little bit easier, but this is how I do it. And now we're on the level where we start working on that first part of the curve. So you want to bring it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks out, do 3 bottom half slabs, and then another 3 blocks across, or 5 blocks across. So we'll do that now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you want to bring across your half slabs. Don't worry about how this is going to look from the underneath, because it does get a bit messy, because this is the level where the roof is. But we will put that in, well, the ceiling is, but we'll put that in once we've got the windows in, so don't worry too much about that. And then the next layer we repeat again, this time with 4, then 2 half slabs, and then we want full blocks in behind those half slabs we just placed, and nothing here. 2, 4. You get the picture. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we want to place in some full blocks across here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we want to place in 2 slabs like that, because of course we don't want gaps in the roof. Now the only thing about this roof is it does require lighting up in a survival world unless you're playing in peaceful mode. If you're playing in peaceful mode, then you don't have to worry about it, but in anything from easy through to hardcore, you're going to have mobs spawning on the roof if you don't light it up. Alright, and then for the final layer, it's 2, then 3 half slabs, then 3 gaps, 3 half slabs, and then 2. And remember to put blocks in to fill the gaps. So we go 1, 2, 1, 2. Now what I say it was 3 half slabs. So we'll come in here, we'll fill in the gaps. Then we want to put in 3 half slabs. And then we have 3 gaps, and that's the top of the roof. That nice curve there. Now I'll get the other side done, and then we'll start working on the interior. Alright, sorry, I didn't mean interior, I meant windows. But yeah, so we're going to need to get a hold of some oak wood stairs and some oak wood planks. Now what we're going to do is we'll start on the front one. The front one is really, really simple. We want to knock that back, place that in, and that. We want to put oak block here. I tend to put a torch in here just so that it looks good at night time. And then a couple of windows. So generally when you're standing down here, it looks like it's in use and it lights up real nice from a distance. And then we want to get these done. So we want to work in 1 block back. And go like this. We then want to have stair, 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 and one up top. And then we want to frame it off so that we've got a round window. We then want to come in here, get part of our floor in real quick. Did I do that with oh gosh, I'm sorry guys. I did it with oak. Let me just grab some oak slabs. Sorry, I struggle with interiors. So we want to get part of the second story flooring in, which is also the first story ceiling, just so that we can now frame this off again and get our windows in. I'll just chuck a couple of torches in here for lighting purposes. Then we just repeat that on the other side. Stair. Da. Right, and that's the completed structural exterior. So our next step is to clear our inventories, and we want to put in a nether portal. Ah, no. So you want to go 1, 2. So obviously you don't have to fill in the corners if you don't want to, because that's a waste of obsidian. I'm just doing it for the sake of the video. And you always want to block it off so that creepers can't get into the nether, and kind of keeps the pigment contained as well. There it is. So there we go. That's just a nice wee 4x3 portal. It fits quite nicely in the shape of the build. And that also marks the end of the exterior. Obviously it looks a lot plainer when it's not decorated, but that's up to you guys how you want to decorate it. Add extra blocks for texture, add flowers, add garden beds. That's all up to you guys. I'm not gonna ruin that sort of creativity. I'm not Grian. I'm not Wells Knight. So we'll leave it at that. So the next step is to replace all of this with dark oak wood for the floor. Now once again, I'm using the same woods I used in tree 7. This doesn't mean that you have to use the same woods as me. As I said before, starter houses, I tend to just build them in whatever colour I feel like. And that's just so you don't have to worry about closing your door behind you. So let me just quickly fill this floor in and we'll move on to the next step. And it's done. Alright, so now we're going to want some dark oak stairs and slabs and blocks off memory, because I'll show you in the other place and that way I can just pick up the stuff as well. We're going to create these archways to kind of break up the room. I mean, it's probably an optional step, but if you guys want to, you can do it and I'll show you how. and we'll be needing those as well. So what you want to do is build out 2 blocks each end, stairs on the pillars, and then a half slab. Really basic. And then you just want to fill in the rest with oak half slabs, leaving a gap for the stairs. And then you've got the floor for the second story completely done. So we'll grab some ladders. Build those right up to the ceiling just because I like the way it looks. And then, as I said, it's going to look funky in here, but you just kind of fill in the gaps with your half slabs. And then you've got a smooth ceiling. And then, of course, you are done. That's it. You can use it however you want. Gosh, have your storage up here instead of downstairs like I do. You'd probably fit way more. And then you could have your enchanting area and your brewing and your bed down here. It's got a lot of space for something this tiny. It works really well. But yeah, that's the Tree 7 starter house. So this is just the start of my building tutorial series, and I'd really love to hear what you guys would like to see me build, because I have gone easy mode for the first one and just built a starter house that I've built a million times. But if you guys want to see something a little more complex or something that's a little bit more detailed and a little less simple, like, let me know and I'll try my best. Alright, but that is definitely all I've got time for today. So if you like the video, then hit that like button, and if you like the channel, then please subscribe. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter and Mixer. Links will be down in the description below, and I will see you all next time.